These guys are on national TV doing a orchestrated misleading of Americans on two fronts. On none of the news networks do they get challenged appropriately. But I want you to listen to this, and I'm going to be...
Opening up this economy is not a question of lives versus jobs. And what President Trump realized early on is that if you lock people down, you may save lives directly from the China virus.
Right.
But you indirectly, you're going to kill a lot more people. And why do I say that? We know statistically, based on our experience with the China trade shock in the 2000s, that unemployment creates more suicides, depression, and drug abuse. But we also know this in this crisis, as we've basically locked down our hospitals for everything but COVID. Women haven't been getting mammograms or cervical examinations for cancer. We haven't been able to do other procedures for the heart or the kidneys, and that's going to kill people as well. So if you contrast like this complete lockdown, where some of the people in the medical community want to just run and hide until the virus is extinguished, that's going to not only take a huge toll on the American economy, it's going to kill many more people than the China virus ever would.
At that point, Chuck Todd should not go and change the subject. Chuck Todd should come immediately and said, oh, if you believe that unemployment really causes these social problems, how comes it is that our government, because we know when unemployment occurs, that we don't tackle these problems? How do we not create policies to prevent suicides? How do we not create policies to go ahead and handle domestic violence? How do we not create policies to go ahead and make these people whole? You are saying you want to do something. Open up the economy, let everybody else go back to work, forget about the challenges of this virus, and somehow we are going to solve those particular problems, prevent those suicides and deaths because your economy is open again. But you will probably die from the coronavirus, many of you. And then he continued.
President, on one hand, he says he wants to leave these decisions up to governors. But it does seem as if he doesn't like the decision of a governor, particularly if they're in the Midwest, he expresses his view. How does that help the governor be able to make their own decisions?
I let the president speak for himself. What we're seeing here across this country in terms of different responses, that it is very useful to leverage local control. But on the other hand, I'm a Californian, and when I see the mayor of Los Angeles want to lock down that city through the end of July, I just got to have to scratch my head. It's the only way I see California ever becoming a red state, because my folks back in Orange County are not going to put up with that kind of nonsense.
My folks in Orange County is not going to put up to it. Well, guess what, buddy? Orange County was won by mostly Democrats, so I mean, at least they're getting a little bit of weird. But again, the constancy of the message that they're trying to put out there, that somehow lockdown is imprisonment, somehow lockdown is preventing people from getting ahead, lockdown is making people ill because they're not going to get their heart surgeries, they're not going to get their elective surgeries. The thing about it is, this is the opportune time for those who are pushing back to say, wait a minute, it didn't take the coronavirus to create a whole bunch of Americans without health care who couldn't get their hearts fixed, who couldn't get their kidneys fixed, who couldn't get cervical cancer surgeries or diagnosis on cervical cancer. Those problems were there before coronavirus. So having people run back to work is not going to make those conditions any better. In fact, it will make them worse. And why? Because as more people go back to work, the emergency rooms and all the resources of the hospitals must again be dedicated to coronavirus mitigation. And in that respect, then, all elective surgeries, all elective procedures have to be placed on hold again. The reality here, folks, is what these guys are attempting to do is short term. The short term is enough people go back to work. The damage to the economy does not look as bad. We get election with a president who is claiming to do much, and then all hell breaks loose in January. We cannot fall for the con. Too many people will have to die if we fall for the con. I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel, and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.